Emma, what's the latest on the injury report before we get started with sound?
Yeah, guys, bad news on that front. Concerning at the very least. DeAndre Swift added to the injury report with a groin issue, and this hasn't been a nagging thing for him. He missed that game against the Bengals on November 1st with this same injury. It's been something that's been lingering. It's not been something he's been listed with on the injury report for now, I guess, a month plus, 6 weeks, whatever it is at this point. So you thought it was healed. I'm not sure if he re-aggravated it or just kind of felt something pop up a little bit today, but something to keep an eye on, especially on a short week.
I'm guessing just all that hard running. You know, your lower body just gets a little sore as a back when you're doing all that hard running he was doing. Random question, random thought. Did you see Kyler Gordon? Is he running around out there anywhere today, man? It's his 26th birthday today. It's probably been a frustrating year. Did anybody shout, "Happy birthday" to Kyler Gordon over there?
I did not get to see Kyler Gordon, obviously. And look, it's been a tough year, and this is something he needs to address personally with doctors, whoever it might be in the offseason, because look, there's a difference between Rome Odunze's pregame injury and warm-ups and Kyler Gordon's. And Rome Odunze was playing through a stress fracture. He was trying to get through it. He was dealing with the pain. Kyler Gordon has just had a series of soft tissue leg injuries, and unfortunately, it's something that's chronic. It's something that's just kind of part of his career at this point. And I think he needs to spend some time this offseason to figure out how he can prevent it. And it's easier said than done. Like, this is just something he's been kind of handling. But I will say I did see Rome Odunze. Like, there's no cast. There's nothing, not a significant limp. I don't think it's anything serious. I don't think it's going to be something that lingers for the long term. But obviously, they want to get him right.
We've been wondering about Jaylen Johnson and how he feels and what he thought of the last game that these two teams played. So did you get a chance to talk with him today?
Had a great chat with Jaylon Johnson today, and he's eager to get back out there. I think the lasting image of that game at Lambeau Field was Packers receivers just running wide open down the field and getting these chances on the Bears secondary. And look, that was a troubling game 10 days ago for this Bears defense that's played at a high level for a lot of the season when healthy. And Jaylon Johnson has been obviously had a long road back, and we're going to hear about his health here in a bit, but he's excited to get back out there against the Packers. Here's Jaylon Johnson.
I mean, for us, we really just strap up. I think it's a really big game for us. I think we have a lot at stake. So I mean, not just again competing for ourselves individually, but we know what we got for a team ahead of us. So we're just trying to be locked in, do whatever we need to do throughout this week to be at our best when it's time to go.
Jaylen, I know you played a lot of games now in 6 years in the NFL, but have you allowed yourself to think about Saturday night, Soldier Field, primetime game, Packers coming to town, like what that's going to be like for you guys?
Nah, I mean, to me, I don't know what Saturday night feels like. I think for me, it's like any other primetime game. It's an opportunity to go and lace up in front of the whole country.
Do you guys feel any additional pressure? Do you feel that sense of like all these eyes on you? What you guys are going to do?
I mean, respectfully, we don't got no pressure. And everybody else, we're not supposed to be here. So I mean, for us, it's just sticking true to what we know what we can do and who we are, and just continue to play hard and execute at the highest level.
You say you're not supposed to be here.
Did you think we were going to be a 10-win team? Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
It strikes me that there are so many Bears players on this roster right now who haven't been a part of this level of winning. There are a few of them that are there, but so many of them that haven't even had a winning record in the NFL. If they have, maybe it's been a one-off. But, you know, DJ Moore in that post-game locker room the other day, Emma talking about this being this first winning season he's had since high school, I believe, in DJ Moore's case. And Jaylon Johnson has been through so much with this organization. It's got to feel good for him to be a part of what they're doing now.
I keep thinking about Jaylen back. Maybe it was before the 24 season. I can't quite remember when he was asked about the expectations and everything the Bears were dealing with and kind of shrugged it off and said, like, I'm about actions. I'm not about preseason hype. And I think it's been bittersweet for him in a way. I know it's been bittersweet for him, in fact, that this team has been having a great season while he's not been out there. And he's been itching to get back, and spoke to him a couple weeks ago about the inner peace he feels in getting that time away from football and kind of shutting it down. But now he's back in the thick of this race and with a team that's hoping to clinch the playoffs this weekend. And he wants to be a key part of that. And at Lawrence Teasdale, we'll get right to it now because Jaylen Johnson led us inside what he's been dealing with in terms of coming back from this injury. And he enjoyed getting that interception on Sunday against the Browns, but he said he'd rather have his full health. Here's Jaylen Johnson.
I would just say really just, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you know your body. And I think for me, it's just certain movements don't feel like they used to feel. And really just, I mean, just that comfort again. I didn't have camp. I didn't have too many opportunities. So you get thrown in a fire and it's like kind of trying to find yourself when it counts. And it's like, just for me, just trying to calm my mind and really just trust my body and keep strengthening my body throughout the week.
Jaylen, are you confident that you'll get back to feeling yourself this season? And like it won't take another off season or anything?
No. This, I mean, for me, again, I've been playing for a long time. So I really just need more reps added, and again, I mean, if the injury I have, it's one of those where you have to keep stressing it and stressing it out, and then it'll get stronger as time goes on. So I think for myself, all I need is just more time, more reps, and especially in the game, it's a little more, I would say, reactionary versus kind of just doing some individual drills on the side. It's not so much stressful on my body. So just really just continuing again to push myself in practice and in the weight room, in the training room, whatever I can do to just strengthen my core, my groin.
I hope so, Lawrence.
I hope so, too.
You've gotten to talk to Jaylen Johnson a lot over the years. He's been kind of waiting for this moment, essentially, where he's been individually excellent. Like, the numbers aren't Myles Garrett types of numbers, but the Bears have been bad the majority of his career, and he's still been exceptional in spite of that. And now they're finally getting to win, but he's not the full version of himself yet.
No, he's not, and you could tell. And I'm really glad that he made that public, because any of us that were watching was like, no, that's not the same guy. And I also get the idea of like not having reps in the defense when you're asked to do different things like that inverted cover two. It might feel a little bit odd to you. Now, Big Ant, you're a good person to talk to you about this. Your whole NFL career was kind of you like fighting through stuff to try and stay on a roster. So when Jaylen says, I don't feel like myself, I imagine that you can relate.
Whether it's been either foot, either hand, the back, the shoulder, there's been surgeries head to toe. And you're just think about when you're excellent at one thing, or maybe if you're excellent at multiple things. But when you get to this point as a professional and you're hoping to have all this work you've put in kind of come to fruition, some of that is the individual excellence that you hope to display, and Jaylen Johnson's been able to do that. And he had a college career. We had surgeries on both shoulders at various points, and you both remember the early part of his Bears career. He had some shoulder issues going on that he had to work through, and yeah, man, I've been there. Was able to work through it a lot at the college level, and the entire time I was a pro, it was just surgery after surgery, and it gets frustrating. And there's not only the individual aspect of it, but then a season like this, where we're talking right now, Jaylen Johnson, who's at least back in the thick of things, hoping to see Tremaine Edmonds back in the thick of things, but a guy like Kyler Gordon, who has said publicly, talking about the mortality of his career and wanting to be a part of team success and not having that. And a lot of the conversation about DJ Moore and his individual numbers being down, but he's still enjoying the team success. And there's both ends of that where, you want to get the bag, you want to get that contract. Jaylen now has that, and hopefully he'll continue to get healthier and healthier to really be the full version of himself while this team is being so good with him.
Emma, we had a conversation earlier about Ryan Poles, and with the news that DeMarco Jackson was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week, like that's another win for him. Another thing that falls into the win category for Poles is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What's it been like for him to be a part of this team over the last 2 months?
Well, at first, that's what you just said. I really like what you said there, Lutz. I completely agree. And for me, a lot of my perspective this season has changed on Ryan Poles because of the way that really strong coaching and development has taken place. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson's an example, but obviously Deshaun Wright has been a tremendous story this season. A guy in Ozzie Trapillo, who bowed out of the tackle competition in August, stepped in November, and he looked like a totally different player. Theo Benedict. You could go all down the line of guys who have had these either revivals in their careers or just a jump start because of the way they've been developed. DeAndre Swift, who we're going to get to in a bit as well, is a prime example of that. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, somebody, obviously, as you mentioned, that they saw the potential because you've seen it before, and they believed he could be coached right by Al Harris, and he's played such a role on this team. This is a guy who won a Super Bowl last year with the Eagles. So all the excitement we're feeling here in Chicago about Saturday night, it's a little bit different for C.J. Gardner-Johnson because he's been on the big stage. So here's C.J. Gardner-Johnson looking ahead to Saturday.
Really, it's another game for me. I don't really get too up, too down. It's another big game, but it's really, like you said, just really trying to take care of our business. It's really about us. If we can focus on us and not focus on them, like everybody trying to make it immediate, like let's focus on us in this building, and then we're going to see what takes care of us Saturday.
Okay, but this game does have some stakes to it. Like, I get it. That's a guy who's won a Super Bowl, right? So,
Right,
but this game does have some consequence to it, Big Ant.
I wonder because everybody's an individual. So for somebody like C.D. Deuce, C.D. Gardner-Johnson, whichever one you choose to go with, for someone like him who has been on that biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, been a part of winning one, and you have various ends of the roster with some guys, it's probably important for them to not get too amped up, too hyped up. We had in our group chat what Jaylen Jones put out there with the Michael Jordan quote, they got to come through Chicago. Well, frankly, Chicago's kind of got to go through Green Bay. The Bears haven't won a division in a while here, but to be ready for this moment, to be hyped up for this stage, I don't know, Emma, with the various guys that you talk to, is there more of the C.D. Gardner-Johnson aspect of the conversation where you're almost downplaying it, or more of the guys kind of referencing and recognizing, being willing to admit what a big game this is?
I think it's a little bit of two things. It's one, the idea of Ben Johnson's harped on this. They need 11 wins to get into the playoffs. This would be win number 11. They can clinch the playoffs this week. And Ben Johnson a couple weekends ago, or even a month ago, was saying, like, we're not thinking about the playoffs. We're thinking about the next game and this and that. Now they're talking about the playoffs internally. And Ben Johnson has instilled that in their minds. But for a lot of these guys individually, too, it's just about playing the Packers again. Caleb Williams mentioned it on Sunday, that interception that he really wants back. That's still simmering in his head. There's a lot of guys, if you ask them, talk about a play they want back from that game. You're talking about now 10 days ago from that game to play in less than 2 weeks, a rematch with these guys on your home field. You're back in first place. You kind of undid everything you lost at Lambeau Field, and it's a chance at redemption. So there's plenty of motivation internally. I get what C.J. Gardner-Johnson's saying because he's been to the mountaintop. But look, these guys have plenty on the line, and they know it.
They do. And what's been great, and Big Ant did a wonderful job of breaking it down earlier, the way this run game has worked, the way that they have gone out there in pass protection and been bullies to a certain degree, the way that DeAndre Swift has had a really nice season. There's an outside chance that both running backs go over 1,000 yards. How has this happened?
I'll take it back to April, I think it was. I spoke with a source here at Halas Hall about kind of the running back situation, and that source said something like, well, we got Eric Bieniemy coaching up DeAndre Swift now, so watch this. And I'll take it back to yesterday when I asked Ben Johnson about DeAndre Swift's breakthrough this season, and he said, of course, give credit to DeAndre first, but also pointed to Eric Bieniemy and talked about how DeAndre is staying on his landmarks with his rush. Eric Bieniemy has been the best thing for DeAndre Swift, in addition to the offensive line and everything else. This guy is an excellent running backs coach, and he's had a bit of a journey in his career, coming from Kansas City, had all those head coaching opportunities, never came to fruition, fell off after a year in Washington, went to UCLA in 24, didn't work out. He is at peace and he's enjoying his time here. So I spoke with Eric Bieniemy first about DeAndre Swift. Here's Eric Bieniemy.
You know what? Just a lot of growth. And first of all, it starts in the classroom. We spend a lot of time talking through a number of things, making sure that we're all on the same page and that we're seeing the same things, and then allowing that to transfer on the practice field. And then these guys know I'm all about work ethic. If we're working, we're giving ourselves a chance to have a chance. And these guys do a great job of working, and I'm proud of them. And when it's all said and done with, what you do on the practice field translates, on game day. And so it's been good so far. Knock on wood, and that we continue to trend.
DeAndre kind of shrugs off the individual success whenever you ask him about last year. He's like, that's in the past. Do you see him enjoying what he's been able to do this season individually?
Oh, yeah. These guys are enjoying themselves. They're having a lot of fun. But also they know they can't do it without those guys in front and those guys on the perimeter. So it ain't about the individual, you know what I mean? It's about the greater good of the team. And then on top of that, what we've accomplished so far, don't get me wrong, it's been a tremendous feat based upon what took place last year. But we still got a long ways to go. We still got a lot of goals that we want to accomplish. So the individual stuff really doesn't have any meaning at this particular point in time. Don't get me wrong, guys deserve to be celebrated, but there's a lot to accomplish.
Those guys are having fun. Are you having fun? I mean, your career's been obviously a journey. You've got a spot here now where you guys are at 10 wins right now and stacking wins, and you're running the heck out of the ball. You got to be enjoying it, right?
Oh, yeah. I get to participate in a game that I've been participating in since I was 6 years old. I just turned 56, so that's 50 years. So I can't complain. I still get to enjoy a kid's game. So, yes, I have fun every single day when I come to work. I'm enjoying myself. I got a great room, got a great group of coaches that I enjoy working with, so I have no complaints.
You've obviously had some movement in your career since Kansas City. Do you feel like settled in, or do you feel the comfort in being with Ben and being with this organization?
You're never comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of progress. So you always want to make sure that you're challenging yourself in many different ways to improve on your skill set. And so that's the beauty of where we're at right now. And the only thing I can take care of is today.
Big Ant, when you hear Eric Bieniemy talk so lovingly about this run game, what do you hear?
I hear a guy who, to the point that Emma was kind of asking him about there, who's been at various stops, who's been a prominent assistant coach for so many years right now after an exceptional playing career, and the detail that he coaches his running backs with, because the intensity that we can see from Eric Bieniemy on the sidelines at times, that's one of those things that can stand out. But every coach will tell you that their actual resume as a coach is what their players are putting on film, what that position unit is putting on film. And there's so much more detail to the way that DeAndre Swift is running the ball now. The footwork, the angles he's running with, the timing of when he's bursting through the hole. And, just like I was referencing earlier, it kind of goes into where Ryan Poles now can certainly receive some credit for bringing DeAndre Swift in here, and the confidence that Ben Johnson had in DeAndre Swift being the lead back, because now he's got Eric Bieniemy as his coach, getting the best football out of him. And so that signing and him being the lead back makes all the sense in the world now. It's quelled my concerns out of all the discussion about pass rushers and everything else. My big thing was, you can find a running back to add to DeAndre Swift. Why haven't they done that? And it wasn't necessary. They drafted a guy in the 7th round, and you're getting the best version of DeAndre Swift that we've seen. And of the many assistants who are doing big things, Emma, it really seems like Eric Bieniemy is a guy who, he's been around in all these NFL circles, so it's different than like Al Harris, Antoine Randall, guys who are ascending as assistants and may get that head coaching job. For whatever reason, that's eluded Eric Bieniemy, but man, it feels like the Bears are really fortunate to have him.
Emma, what else we need to know from Halas?
Well, let's get to nuggets and tidbits as well. We mentioned the injury front there. Luther Burden not practicing, but same with Roma Dunze, Imagn Ogbongbemiga as well. Cole Kmet, Tremaine Edmonds limited. Guys, keep an eye on Tremaine Edmonds heading into this week, and there is a chance that he could get that quick turnaround and be back out there with these guys for Saturday night. The team would have to activate him from IR by Friday in order to do that. Caleb Williams stands at 3,150 passing yards this season. He would need to average 283.3 yards per game to hit 4,000. That's going to be a long shot. Eric Kramer's single-season passing record of 3,838 is much more gettable. Caleb will need to average 229.6 passing yards per game to surpass that mark, become the Bears' single-season passing leader. The Bears are tied for the league lead in an unheralded statistic, starting field position. Their average starting line is the 33.1-yard line, tied with the Texans for the best in the league. Of course, that's a reflection combination of defense and special teams making a difference. And a couple weekends ago, before the game in Lambeau Field, I gave you Les Grobstein's favorite game against the Packers. I'll take it the other way. The day he hated the Packers, the day he truly turned on the rivals from up north, December 15th, 1968, Don Horn stepped in for the injured Bart Starr at Wrigley Field, led a 28-27 win over the Bears. Les said he never forgave the joy of those Green Bay fans, saying, quote, "They were really obnoxious and they were making me sick."
Unbelievable. Way to get a Les reference into the Bears hit. Emma, great job, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.